people! Welcome back to my channel. Here is Ray. So last week we talked about how to gently walk away from a relationship and everything. And after uploading that video, I received a lot of questions asking, I'm not ready to walk away, but at the same time, I don't feel comfortable. What can I do? So today, let's talk about boundaries. In today's videos, I'm going to share 3 practical tips of how to set boundaries, starting from 0. So, what does it mean to set a boundary? In short, it's about telling other people what's okay and what's not okay in your relationships. The goal here is not about making others uncomfortable. It's about making sure that everyone knows what to expect and what to avoid when interacting with you. This helps prevent small problems from turning into big ones. Here are 3 keywords I find super helpful to set boundaries. Be clear, be direct, and be consistent. Be clear about what you need, be direct in saying it, and be consistent in sticking to it. It helps avoiding misunderstandings and avoid emotional buildup. Without boundaries, small issues could grow into big ones, and eventually you might explode because there's too much. Then you feel like you have no other choice than to end the relationship, and that's not really healthy. Setting boundaries can prevent this emotional buildup and make both parties more comfortable. Because honestly, most people are not trying to offend you on purpose. They just might not know where your boundaries are. Think boundaries as giving them a kind of like user manual on how to interact or how to talk to you. By setting those limits, you're making the relationship better for both of you. But the thing is, sometimes we all know these theories. We know the logic behind. We hear them from YouTube, from podcasts. We know that setting boundary is important. But how to do it? How to really implement those in real life? And this is the core thing I want to share today. For example, when someone asks for a favor and you're unavailable, simply say, I can't today. Thanks for understanding. If you're not sure, you can say it clearly in the moment. Practice ahead of time. That's what I mean by practicing. You kind of like prepare yourself before it actually happens. You can try role play these situations, either alone or with a friend or a family member. Just repeat after me or try it in front of a mirror. No, I can't. Thanks for understanding. This is actually a super helpful technique used in therapies because a lot of us might not be used to hear ourselves saying no. So let your ears get familiar with the words. Let your brain realize, oh, actually, I'm able to say no. I'm able to decline invitations and say that I'm unavailable. By practicing these dialogues, you're actually changing the chemicals in the brain. So you will feel more confident and more comfortable saying no in these real situations. But the next question is, when you're in the moment, when you're under pressure, your brain might just go blank and forget how to say no. So the next technique is, sometimes we may feel there is a pressure to say yes, especially when you feel guilty that you have to accept their negativity or you have to give away your emotional energy. But here is the truth. Most of that pressure comes from old patterns we created ourselves. You've probably been doing it for so long that it feels automatic. That is why it's so important to give yourself some space to cool down before you respond. In the heat of the moment, it's easy to agree to something that we don't actually want. So the next time that happens, take a step back. Create some distance. If it's on the phone, find a polite excuse to end the call. Tell them that you have to pee. If you're face-to-face, excuse yourself. Same, tell them that you have to go to the bathroom. Say you need a moment or anything that gives you a short break. This little pause will help you to reset. It gives your brain some time to catch up with your emotions. And most importantly, it takes you out from the react time and puts you back in control. It allows you to say, let me think about it. Don't rush to say yes because you feel pressure. Try to step away, take a deep breath, and respond when you feel ready. At first, setting boundaries can feel super awkward. You might even feel like you're the bad guy for speaking up, and that's totally normal. It's kind of like you're putting on a layer of protection when you haven't had any before. But don't worry, over time, you get used to it. And you will find that setting boundaries don't harm your relationships. In fact, it can make them healthier and stronger. Because by setting boundaries, you're filtering those negative and toxic relationships out of your life. And those who stay, they are the people who really respect you and respect your boundaries. If you're not sure where to start, try to write your boundaries down. You can divide them into two categories. First part, I'll call it the big no's, the things that you absolutely 100% won't tolerate, like lying to you, stealing from you, or shouting at you. And the other category, I'll call it the small no, the things that bother you, but you can handle in small doses, like being interrupted or someone being a bit late. And each time you set a boundary, write down how you went and what you're feeling about it and how the outcome was, like how the other person responded to you. Over time, you will notice that people start to accept your boundaries, sometimes more easily than you expected. And I'm sure you start to feel so confident every time you speak up. Finally, what I want to say is setting boundaries isn't something we're born with. It's a skill that you can learn at any age. Whether you're in your 20s, 50s, it doesn't matter. It's never too late to start. Think of it like tuning a piano. You're not being harsh or controlling. You're just making sure that the music of your life sounds right. Setting boundaries, meaning telling yourself, I see my needs and I'm going to protect them. For me, personally, learning this skill changed everything. It's helping me to maintain and build so much precious and healthy relationships. And I believe it can do the same for you. If you have stories or thoughts or tips, feel free to share them in the comments. I'd love to see them. Thanks for watching. Here is Ray, a psychotherapist who talks about everyday emotion. If you like me, my video, or want to know more about psychology, hit like and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next Friday.